Dakota Ditcheva sent shockwaves through the entire USA with a jaw-dropping knockout that silenced every doubter. Before stepping into the cage,
I mean, for sure, I'm stronger in wrestling. Obviously, I would like to take it to the ground, and I would feel that I'm definitely stronger there. Then I have a lot of confidence in my striking as well. So, like all round, I feel confident. But
yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listened to so many people talking like throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way, because I'm not really bothered about like proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all just talkers. Yeah.
Cornelia Holm had made bold claims, belittling Dakota in interviews and mocking her abilities. Holm had no idea of the storm she was about to face. This is Boxing Planet, and today, we're diving into one of the most explosive clashes in MMA. History: Dakota versus Cornelia Holm. This wasn't just a fight. It was a statement. After all the media jabs and trash talk, Dakota responded in the most brutal fashion possible, with a clean knockout that left Cornelia sprawled on the canvas. Fans online roasted Holm mercilessly. Some even joked she'd be better off starting an OnlyFans after such a crushing loss. The fight breakdown. Round 1, from the opening bell. Dakota imposed her will. She took command of the octagon with icy calm and precision. Holm danced on the outside, flicking weak jabs and trying to maintain distance, but Dakota's rhythm was unshakable. She chopped Holm's legs with ruthless kicks, slowing her movement and cracking open her defense. By the end of the first round, Holm's body was marked and battered, while Dakota stood fresh. Barely breathing, round 2, realizing she was falling behind, Holm turned up the pace. But Dakota stayed composed, slipping punches with ease and firing back with brutal counters. Then came the moment that brought the crowd to its feet. A spinning back elbow landed flush, staggering Holm. She stumbled back to the cage only to be met with crushing knees and vicious hooks that dug into her ribs. Round 3. At this point, the writing was on the wall. Holm looked like a shell of her former self. Dakota, sensing the end was near, exploded forward. She faked low and delivered a thunderous overhand right that connected clean to the jaw. Holm reeled, barely conscious. Dakota followed with a flying knee, then unloaded a ferocious flurry of punches. Holm collapsed against the cage and the referee stepped in. Victory to absolute domination. Dakota didn't just win, she took Cornelia apart piece by piece. From striking superiority to cage control, her performance was a masterclass. In violence and discipline, Holm's trash talk had backfired spectacularly. It's fueling one of the most decisive beatdowns of Dakota's career. But wait, it gets better. Let's rewind to August 2nd, 2024, at PFL 7 in Nashville, Tennessee, where Dakota faced Gina Bishop. Gina had been riding a wave of confidence, even boasting she'd shut Dakota down easily. But when the cage door locked, her arrogance was met with cold, punishing reality. Dakota came out like a thunderstorm, fast, lethal, and locked in. While Gina appeared loose, perhaps overconfident, Dakota wasted zero time. A stinging leg kick, followed by a razor-sharp jab, made Gina rethink everything. She tried to wrestle to drag Dakota into her comfort zone, but Dakota's takedown defense was unshakable. She sprawled, shifted, denied every attempt. This is just a glimpse into what makes Dakota Ditcheva one of the most feared women in combat sports. Her power, timing, and no-nonsense attitude inside the cage have earned her a terrifying reputation. And these fights are living proof. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into Dakota's most brutal highlights, the moments that turned her from a contender into a cage-conquering legend. Every failed takedown attempt by Gina Bishop drained her stamina and chipped away at her confidence. Dakota Ditcheva's defense was unbreakable, and the more Gina struggled, the more exposed she became. Physically bruised and mentally unraveling. By the end of round 1, Gina was gasping for air, her corner scrambling to salvage a game plan that was crumbling under pressure. The bold claims of an easy win had completely fallen apart. Round 2 only turned up the heat. Dakota reading her. Opponent's fatigue turned on the pressure with a terrifying calm. Her strikes flowed like a rhythm, crisp, heavy, and unrelenting. A vicious body shot forced a wince from Gina, and when a thudding kick landed squarely to her ribs, she visibly buckled. Despite the punishment, Gina pressed forward, desperate to clinch and force the bout into her grappling world. But Dakota was a step ahead, using slick footwork and angles to keep the fight standing, punishing Gina every time she overextended. Then came the moment that sealed the fight. Midway through the second, Gina lunged recklessly for a takedown, a move fueled by desperation, not strategy. Dakota timed it perfectly, launching a devastating knee straight to Gina's face. The impact was brutal. The crowd roared. Gina crumpled to the canvas, and in a flash, Dakota was on top of her, hammering down with ruthless precision. The referee dove in to stop the onslaught. TKO victory. Dakota, the woman who had confidently predicted a walk in the park now, lay battered and broken on the mat. What followed was a glimpse into Dakota's character. No trash talk, no celebration at her opponent's expense. She calmly embraced her team, nodded in quiet victory, and exited the cage, her undefeated streak intact, and her reputation as a rising MMA juggernaut further cemented. The Valentina Skitidze showdown, April 20th, 2024, in another massive showdown. Dakota faced off against Valentina Skitidze at the PFL Europe Women's Flyweight Championship. Tensions were high leading into the fight. Valentina,
she never fought with someone like me, so I want just fight.
Had stirred the waters during pre-fight interviews, boldly labeling Dakota as overhyped and claiming she'd never faced a real threat inside the cage. As the two stepped into the cage, the atmosphere was electric. Fans were eager to see whether Valentina could back her bold words, or if she'd simply awakened the beast. From the opening seconds, Skitidze looked to assert dominance. She launched a barrage of sharp jabs and low kicks to break Dakota's rhythm and keep her on the back foot. For a brief moment, the plan seemed to work. A stiff right hand from Valentina caught Dakota clean, briefly staggering the British fighter. But that brief success came at a price. Dakota quickly regained control, her composure never slipping. With razor-sharp footwork and eagle-eyed precision, she began to dismantle Valentina's approach. A snapping head kick brushed past Valentina's guard, followed by a brutal body shot that visibly took the breath from her. The tides had turned. In round 2, the intensity skyrocketed. Valentina came out swinging, knowing she needed a big moment to shift the momentum. But Dakota was locked in. Sharp counter right hand rocked Skitidze, and Dakota didn't hesitate. She surged forward, unloading a punishing series of punches that pinned her opponent to the cage. As round 3 began, Dakota was still composed, like a predator closing in on its prey. The finish wasn't far, and everyone watching knew it. This was another chapter in the legacy of a fighter who doesn't just win, she dominates.